everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, as usual, you know I have to do it. I have to invite everybody to come on and be a part of this community. Listen, I wouldn't invite you if it wasn't off the chain. This is the best community on these internet streets, and I promise you, I am not hyping it up. Listen, if you don't believe me, go in the comments, talk to somebody. I promise you, you're going to be impressed. And when you get through, come on out, look down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too, so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight that nemesis of mine, the beast, the algorithm, y'all. Y'all keep helping me to dog walk it. You do, and I appreciate it so much. Your thumbs ups, I appreciate it. And I'll tell you something else I appreciate. All of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercial. Y'all are doing such a great job. I'm telling you, I know it's not easy watching those commercials, but y'all do it anyway to support the channel. And I am so thankful and so grateful. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, over in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you're going to be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I'll be so grateful. So thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have that support. And if you just want to do a one-time donation, look in the other corner. You see those three little dots? Click there and you'll see our super thanks button. And listen, all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have some super thanks. And first up is Mr. Kevin Slams. He is a ride or die. I'm telling you, Kevin just keeps on coming through. And listen, he's going to do one thing, and that is to support the read. He is always supporting the read, always coming through, always in the comments, always sharing his knowledge and his humor. He is just everything. He is just everything. And I'm so thankful to have him as a part of this community. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And next is Tiger Mommy. Y'all know how much I love Tiger Mommy. Tiger Mommy is everything. She has been with me for a while. And listen, her unwavering, and I said unwavering support is everything. I'm telling you, Tiger Mommy is always coming through. She is a ride or die, always down for the read kind of girl. And I'm telling you, I'm so appreciative, so thankful to have her. So thank you, Tiger Mommy. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And then we have Yulette. Yulette just keeps on keeping on. She is just everything. Like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, I don't know what I did to deserve Yulette, but I'm so glad I did because she is everything. She is a ride or die, always in the comments, always coming through with the knowledge, and always down with the read. So I'm telling you, I am thrilled to have Yulette as part of this community, and I am just so happy she chose us. So thank you, Yulette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. All right, y'all, I'm going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. Y'all, I want to give another quick shout out to Kevin Slims to Tiger Mommy and Ulette. Listen, y'all are everything. Y'all know y'all are everything. Because without y'all, I could not do this. I couldn't. I have been feeling my best here lately, my voice and everything, and I kind of have just not felt my best. But listen, just knowing y'all are out there and just supporting, it just gives me that extra little boost, and I am so appreciative. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Tiger Mommy. Thank you, Ulette. Thank y'all for the super thanks. But y'all, most of all, thank you for being here. That means everything. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, I have been on these streets today. I have. And there's some quite interesting things going on. Now, I almost did a word on the curve with some of the stuff we're going to discuss today. Because, listen, it is a story out there that the British media wants to tell one way, but the video says it's something else. And we're going to talk about that and how desperate they are to try to gaslight us into believing that Willy and Kitty have a natural affection for each other. Yes, they are out here trying to sell a love story that has no love in it. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about something I just found so funny, and what the Squatties absolutely just drug People magazine. And it was another one too. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but when I get to it, we'll talk about it. But what the Squatties are doing, they are dragging People magazine, and I think it's the Times, if I'm not mistaken, and how they are digging up dead Prince Philip. And I don't understand why they do that, because they should know the Squatties doesn't have any problem dragging a live Prince Philip. Why would we have a problem in dragging a dead one? Yes, the Squatties are dragging dead Prince Philip that they have dug up to try to use against Harry and Meghan. Yes, they did that with the Queen for a long time, and now the Queen, they done pretty much sullied her reputation. Now they digging up Philip. Yes, the same Prince Philip that in his latter days only did two things. That was to race horse carriages and bang Penny Natchbull. Yeah, that Philip. I mean, it is ridiculous how these people really think that we should have some kind of deference for these people. We know who these people are. And we have no hesitation in absolutely stripping them bare for everyone to see. Yes, we will absolutely lay bare everything that these people have done and have no reservations, because you have no reservation in your actions of trying to use the dead to punish the living, which would be Harry and Meghan. So no, we're going to drag Philip, and we're going to drag you for dragging Philip up. So we're going to talk about that. Yeah, I'm still in that mood. That messy mood. And what else are we going to talk about? We have plenty of stuff to talk about. Listen, I'm going to try not to keep y'all long, but I promise you're going to be entertained. So I won't put this up, y'all, and I'll try to not to be so messy. I will. But I'm putting this up. And this Squatty says, whenever Harry and or Meghan does well, countless slimy bottom feeders come slithering to the surface of the sewer to spread their muck. From the number of them writing articles or posting on social media, Harry and Meghan are doing well. Very, very well. That's exactly true. Because every time Harry and Meghan does something to knock the ball out of the park, I mean nothing but successful, here they come, trying to drag them down, trying to smear them, trying to slime them. All the ugly old hag dragons and all the snaggle-toothed old skanks, they show up writing articles and talking all manner of nonsense here on these internet streets. So, yeah, you can pretty much measure the success of Harry and Meghan's, whatever their accomplishment is, by how much slime is thrown at them, how much vitriol is spewed at them. And it's a shame, it really is, that these people can't mind their business and let the ones that they support shine. Because if Kitty and Willie are who you say they are, they're so much more superior than Harry and Meghan. They're the heirs to the throne. Why in the world do you have to bother with Harry and Meghan? They should not be any competition, because I know Harry and Meghan don't consider it a competition. They don't. You make it a competition. All the flying monkeys and that family over there, they make it a competition. And all I can say to that is, when you make it a competition, you are not doing yourself any favors, because it only highlights Willie and Kitty's mediocrity, how subpar they are to Harry and Meghan. Why don't you do yourself a favor and just keep Harry and Meghan out of it? Keep their names out of your mouths. If I could give any advice to all of the flying monkeys over there, all those rags, it would be, stop playing the comparison game, because Willie and Kitty is always going to fall short when compared to Harry and Meghan. Because at the end of the day, future king and queen dumb as a rock is always going to fall short. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And what this particular squatty is talking about is when Willie and Kitty went on their so-called date night to the Royal Variety performance, and what transpired right before they got out of the car. Now, the narrative that Kensington Palace is pushing, the narrative that those rags over there are pushing, all the flying monkeys are pushing, is that Willie kissed Kitty before they got out of the car. Now, this is the narrative that they're trying to peddle here. And it just so happens that the squatties, who are just absolutely superb at investigation and breaking down film and video, has called BS on that narrative. And let me tell you, my timeline is filled up full of squatties doing exactly that. This particular squatty said the British press lied and said William was kissing his wife, when in reality and on video, he is taking a sip of a drink. Yes, you heard it right. He was drinking before he went in. And they want to try to tell us that he kissed Kitty, when it is a video that the squatties have broke down frame by frame to show that no, that's not what he was doing. He was actually taking a drink from a flask. Yes, yes, y'all. This right here is the tea. I don't even want to say allegedly, because it's on video. I saw the video with my two eyes that the squatties broke down. I mean, frame by frame, to show, yes, he was taking a sip of, what do we call it? Liquid courage. Yes, before he went in. But yet and still, this is the lie that they want to go with. And it says telling and obvious. Yes, yes. The tea. Get your teacup, squatties, because this is the piping hot tea that the squatties are serving up on these social media streets. Yes. He was taking a sip of, we don't know what it is now. I will say allegedly alcohol, because isn't alcohol what you put in a flask? But I digress, y'all. This particular squatty came up under that squatty and said, to make sure I understand, deranged, loyalist, desperate for any show of affection between Prince William is a bully and Kate Middleton lies, made up a lie about William kissing Kate's hand. And the racist Rhoda printed the lie, even though they know this is a lie, because they're desperate for Willie and Kitty's PDA too. Now, my theory on this is that yes, they are desperate for Willie and Kitty to show some kind of PDA, to show some kind of sign that it is some life in that marriage. Now, I agree with that part, but I also believe this was the cover up story, meaning that they know that what we saw, we saw. And instead of just saying what everybody saw on this video, they had to put in a cover story to argue, to have some debate, saying, oh no, it was her hand, it wasn't a flask. But all I can say is, I saw the video, and if her hand looks like a metal flask, yeah, that's exactly what he was doing. He was kissing her hand. But if her hand looks like a normal person's hand, it was a flask. It was a flask he was putting up to his lips and not her hand. And I believe this all tracks back to what, maybe a year ago, when we really start seeing some signs of decay and deterioration when it came to Willie. Y'all remember he got super, super thin. He looked it horrible. And he was absolutely showing up for official engagements. I mean, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I mean, swaying. He could not stand up straight, to the point where Squatty started calling him Prince Sway Sway. And he looked horrible. He looked like he, goes on benders. Now, I'm just saying, this is my opinion. This is what I believe I see. And I'll just say allegedly in there as well. But he wasn't looking good. But can you imagine? And like I said, I don't know. This is my belief. But I'm thinking you really have to be in dire straits here. You to show up to an engagement like this that you know all the media is going to be at, and you're drinking in the car. These are signs of someone who is in the throes of addiction. I mean, only real addicted people take risks like this. Very risque in their behavior. Because from the video, I can see that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. And like I said, we have suspected this for a while. And what I'm going to say is my belief. I have no evidence of it, but to me, observing what he is doing and his behavior from afar, he looks and acts as if he is addicted to alcohol or drugs. It is something going on with him. And for him to take such a risk to take a drink in the car while the flash bulbs are going off, that right there tells me he has a problem. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm gonna put this up. And when I read this particular post, I cackle because it's just so funny. This squatty said they are so desperate for these two strangers to be knocking boots. Now that's true. I agree with that. But I don't think that's the reason why they put that story out. I believe that they put that story out as a cover-up story for him being caught on video taking a sip from a flask in the car. I believe that's what it is. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I think it is a cover up story. They want you to talk about this instead of talking about what's really going on, because that's all they do. They cover up for him. They absolutely prop him up. They cloak for him. And everything that he does, they cover it up like a cat covering up his poop. He has been in trouble for a while. And it's not helping him. They think they're helping him, but they're not. He continues to spiral out of control. Because if you are drinking in the car before you go in, it's a saying here in America, you have jumped the shark, meaning that you are absolutely on the other side of no return. He is in trouble. He is really, really in trouble. And for them to cover up and just not have anybody that has enough pull with you to call you out on your BS. He doesn't have that. I mean, his mother probably would have been the only person that could do that. And she has passed on. They tried to put that on Harry, saying Harry keeps him straight. Well, that's not Harry's job. And I don't believe that to be true. Y'all can tell me what y'all think, but I don't believe that to be true. Because this is the same guy, Willy, who has never shown Harry any kind of love. He didn't even want to acknowledge him when he was in school, when him and Harry was in school. He wanted Harry to pretend like he didn't even know him. And this is the same Willy, after he got married, never invited Harry over to have dinner. I said dinner. That's my impression of Tyler Perry's Medea. Medea be saying dinner. Yes, dinner. I know it is dinner. Never invited Harry over to have dinner. And then when he invited Harry and Meghan over, he brought them over there so he could put his finger in Meghan's face. So I don't think Harry has any sway with this man, except his jealousy for Harry. And I'm going to put this up. This particular squattee is a member of the Squad's investigation agency. And yes, this is one of their top priorities, investigating if William kissed a hand or was kissing the other end of a flask. But this particular squattee said this about the whole thing. Nothing funnier than the Rangers making SHIT up and British media running with it. William never kissed Kate's hand in the car. Listen to this. I have slowed and frozen the clips. You can clearly see both hands in the clip as William, he takes a sip on whatever he was holding. And this particular squattee, I saw the video of her slowing it down and, freezing it. And it definitely looks like a flask. It does. It does not look like her hand unless her hand has gone totally black. I'm just saying. And like I said, I'm giggling and kind of, chuckling about it. But it's clear that this man is in trouble. He is clearly in trouble if he is being as risky as this while cameras flash. He still made his priority to take a sip. I'm just saying. And this squattee reposted that same post from that squattee and said, I posted about this yesterday and the derangers were crying at my post. I didn't want to post the video, but here it is. It is funny how the Rangers made this video viral as if it was a loving video, while it actually shows William Parker Bowes sipping on a drink before he gets out. Isn't that something? Now tell me that ain't tea. Squatties are not going to miss anything. No, you are not going to pee on our heads and tell us it's raining. Because look at this. What is that in his hand? It definitely doesn't look like her hand. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up because it is just too messy and too petty. And it's all because of Cosmopolitan UK had the nerve to just repeat that lie that has been debunked all across these internet streets, that Willie was kissing Kitty's hand and not the other end of the bottle. Yes, but Squatties was not having any of it, because Cosmopolitan said Prince William was caught on camera breaking protocol with secret Kate Middleton kiss. No, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. This Squatty came up under Cosmopolitan's official post and posted this right here. I cannot with Squatties. I cannot. They are just so petty and messy. I just love it. Now, when you absolutely go on the official page of a magazine and post a picture of a man drinking out of a bottle, I'm telling you, I cannot with Squatties. It is so funny to me because it's so true. It is so true. I'm just saying. And here's some of the comments from other Squatties about this whole situation with William sipping and Kitty Cat, and them trying to sell us on the whole narrative that it was a kiss on the hand instead of a swig of the bottle. This Squatty said the Prince William Kate fans and the UK media desperate to find some sign of affection that was not there. Shows how they know the marriage might have issues. Exactly. I mean, they're always trying to read PDA into everything, and it's clearly not what you're seeing. It's like, don't believe your lying eyes. It's like that. And this particular other Squatty says, Prince Harry said that Willie was drinking heavily the night before his wedding and on the day itself. We all know why he was drinking heavily, because he knew Harry was absolutely marrying a dime and he was married to a penny. And this next Squatty says William takes a drink out of a flask unless Kate's hand looks like a flask. That's kind of what I said. If her hand looks like a flask, then he kissed it. And it says, this next one says, look like he took a sip from a flask. We all know what goes in a flask. And this right here is my problem with the UK media. Their inability to hold this family accountable. They will not do it. They much rather just plant lies and create stories instead. And that's what they have done in this particular case. And how we know that to be true? Well, the video, it doesn't say that he was kissing Kate's hand. It looked like he was kissing an object that looked like a flask. I'm just saying. This Squatty posted this and it says, and the end of the night, look of love, I guess. Look at them. Look at them. Do they look like a happy couple? What is going on here? And William looked like he is just holding on by his fingernails. He really looks like he is just holding on by his fingernails. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And little did I know or notice that we had a new barrier pole. Yes, we have a new barrier pole. And this is what the Squatty said that posted this. It's a repost, and the original post says, they do, but no one wants to see Kate Middleton or Prince William. They even had barriers out, yet no one showed up. They do not have real fans. Exactly. Squatties have been saying this for years, that they have bots. They don't have, actual fans. And when it's time for the fans to show up, you get nobody. And the Squatty that reposted this said, no one came to see them. I should feel sorry, but I don't. The roles really suck. Where is a lie? Where is it? Let's look at this barrier pole. As you can see, this is Kate and Willie coming in, and there are the barriers. And it is nobody. When I say nobody, it's nobody except the wind whistling through the barrier pole. I mean, it's nobody there. But look how the people of Great Britain used to show up for Harry and Meghan when they would go out. I mean, you can tell the barrier pole looks a whole lot different. It used to look a whole lot different. Now, they can't get anybody to show up for them. That is the reason why they moved a whole lot of stuff to Windsor out of London, because the barrier poles was eating them up. And it continues to eat them up. And I just love it. So, yes, we got a new barrier pole and it is being consistent. Nobody cares for Willie or Kitty. I'm just saying. All right, too. Kate also been out here lying again. I mean, it's just lie after lie after lie with these people. And Kate is out here saying that her hair turned blonde because of the sun. Now, did she have her wigs out there in the sun and that's how it turned blonde? Because we all know that's not her hair. I mean, lie after lie after lie. And this is a repost. And the original post said, laugh out loud, girl. Please, I know you go on vacation twice a month, but you and I both know it was an overzealous dye job that you had to walk back that turned your hair blonde. Talking about it was the sun. Now, I love this squatty. I do, but I have to disagree. I have to disagree this time. I don't think it was an overzealous dye job. I think it was an overzealous kitty cat who decided to find some blonde wigs. And when I say wigs, I mean more than one. Yes, as you can see, they are piled high to the sky. You know, Dolly Parton says she likes her hair high because she's closer to God. And I'm telling you, if you put that reference and apply it to Kate at this point, it is so high. Her wigs are so high, she can have a conversation with God face to face. Because I have never saw a part that sits 2 inches from your scalp. If you can see here, Kate's part starts at the front and goes up 2 inches. I kid you not. I kid you not. But the squatty that reposted this says, Kate is the biggest liar. She lies about everything. Her hair, it says, your hair doesn't turn blonde in the sun and suddenly darken days later after you've been drugged for filth for a bad dye job. Well, like I said, if she was dying anything, she was dying them wigs, because we know nobody believes that these piles and piles and piles of hair is Kate's real hair. I mean, it's so obvious. And it's so sad. It just shows her insecurity. It seems like the more insecure she becomes, the more hair she piles on her head. And she started all of this nonsense during the time that Princess Lilibeth was getting so much press and so much attention for her red hair. Y'all remember that? And before we knew anything, here come Kate with much lighter, redder hair. And Charlotte too. Charlotte's hair lightened as well. So I just think all of this is born out of her insecurity and her lack of individuality. We all know Kate. Kate is like Play-Doh. And if you are a kid from the 70s or the 80s, you know exactly what that is. It is putty that you can put on different surfaces, and it absolutely makes a duplicate copy. Yes, Kate and Willie, throw him in there too. They are nothing but Play-Doh. They just imprint themselves on anything and everything Harry and Meghan has or does, including their children, and copy. Yes, because her hair was absolutely dark until Lily started getting attention for her hair, and all of a sudden it's lighter and it's redder. I can't with these people. I can't. And this squatty said, did she really say her hair is now blonde from being in the sun and she lives in London? And another squatty said, funny how only her and her daughter's hair are turning blonde, but not her son's. Hmm, very, very strange, isn't it? Because I'm just saying, aren't they in the sun too? And I'm gonna put this up. This particular squatty decided to chronicle all of Kate's lies. And this is a repost. And the original post said this: here is just a few of Kate's blatant lies. Hashtag Kate Middleton is a liar. And it says just a few of Kate Middleton's blatant lies. And it says one, she did her own wedding makeup. Y'all remember that one? That one was debunked, wasn't it? By Bobby Brown when she came out with her book. She debunked that one. And it says two, Prince Harry gave a wedding speech praising her legs. Now, this lie was told about Harry saying he'd said this speech at their reception after Willy and Kitty's wedding. And then three, Megan made her cry. Four, the great cancer hoax, which is a huge one. And it says five, she doesn't wear extensions. Six, her wedding tape is a childhood scar. Mmm, mmm. Her wig tape is a childhood scar. I remember that one too. The infamous fake photo scandal that rocked the world. Yes, that was good times. Those were some good times. The squatties was absolutely dragging everybody. We were. And I tell you, the news organizations were dragging Kensington Palace. It was delicious. But the squatty that reposted this says, I guess we can update the list, Zanny Sussex. The summer sunshine made her hair blonde. Princess Peroxide thinks everybody is thick. Exactly. Well, we can see that's a wig on top of her head. Well, many, many wigs on top of her head, and they are just happen to be blonde. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And as you can see on the left, this is a Photoshop picture of what the deranged old hag dragons have made up using AI saying it's Megan. Well, a squatty came in and posted that picture and added Kate's picture to it and did not Photoshop it once. Because why would she need to? I'm telling you, we all know the need to lie and Photoshop and use AI to try to make Megan unattractive. But all we have to do is put Kate's picture up. And that's exactly what this particular squatty has done. The dragon of Kate has not stopped. Why? Because of nonsense like this, the derangers and their nonsense. And I'm going to put this up. And this squatty is talking about how the Rangers are accusing her of photoshopping Kate's picture because Kate's, I'm telling you, her neck and her décolleté, it looks tragic. It really does. And her arms, we don't even need to discuss those arms who look like they don't even belong to her. But I digress. This squatty said this: a deranger wrote to me that I photoshopped the pictures. I hit her mentally unstable BS, but that only tells you that they can't accept reality, the truth. And that is so true. That they cannot accept how Kate actually looks. They not only Photoshop this nonsense about Megan, but they do the same for Kate to make her look better. They do. And this squatty goes on to say they only accept lies because that's the world that they live in. They think we are like them because they always Photoshop Megan's. Exactly. Exactly. And then it went on and says Photoshop Megan's pictures because it was a two-parter. And it says They photoshopped Megan's pictures to make her look less attractive, ugly, so their ugly selves can feel beautiful. Where is the lie? I'm telling you, Megan haters are so unattractive. They are. And even when that you would consider them attractive, when they open their mouths, you said not so much. But it's not very many attractive Megan haters. Most of them are dealing with their own insecurities of looking in the mirror. But I digress. It says more beautiful than it says themselves feel better, more beautiful than Megan. They can't handle how beautiful, strong, intelligent, and resilient Megan is, and how much more attractive she is than they are or than Kate. Where is the lie? Where is it? That is the reason why Kate was so threatened by Megan. Not just her intellect, not just her excellence and her ability to make things happen. I mean, she just absolutely outpaced Kate in every area, including looks. And Kate could not handle that. William could not handle that. And y'all remember the first Remembrance Day that Megan attended? And she was standing up there on that balcony looking so beautiful. And I knew right then and there, I said to myself, they are going to try to get rid of her. They are, because it had started to ramp up. We had started to get some indication about what was going on behind the scene. That's when Tina and Michelle came on the scene and was starting to educate all of us, because in the beginning we all wanted it to work out. It was no squatties, it was just fans. We were fans of the whole family. I didn't have no kind of feelings for Kate. I thought she was pretty. I thought she seemed nice. I wanted her and Megan to really hit it off. And I wanted the Fab Four. Y'all remember that? I wanted that. I thought, wow, this is going to be really, really great. And America has that connection because an American princess. I just thought it was going to be so dope, so great. I really, really did. But we found out that Megan had married into a den of scorpions, and they were systematically trying to sting her to death. And after we found that out, then it was a whole different story. But I digress. Yes, I really feel that that right there is what caused Kate to feel so threatened. I mean, so insecure. Megan's beauty. Now, I believe she maybe would have been okay if Megan had been excellent and ugly. But Megan was the whole package, just like Harry said. And Kate couldn't handle that, and she still can't handle it. And I am going to put this up. The squatties are still dog walking Kate about how she is looking. Yes, they want to Photoshop Megan, but we put up the real pictures of Kate, and that's the reason why they stay so mad. But this particular squatty said the Rangers talking SHIT about Megan's Harper Bazaar photo shoot, while Kate Bones Middleton looks like that. And this particular squatty was so petty. Every time I look at this, I'll have to cackle. Put little hands everywhere she wanted you to. Everywhere she wanted you to look. Tell me that squatties are not petty AF, messy AF. This right here is a prime example of a very petty and messy squatty. To put those little hands, I'm telling you, when I first saw this, it just absolutely knocked me out. I was dead. I was in a complete coma because I just could not catch my breath from laughing. But as you can see, it's pretty tough. And they go on to say, they don't care about Kate. Only thing they care about is attacking and bullying Megan for no reason at all. And then had the nerve to say hashtag Megan Sussex. I cannot. And it says the reality, and then pointed then pointed at Kate's, hollowness in her neck, and they said they pretend they don't see. They absolutely do. They pretend like this is normal. This is something a 43-year-old woman, her neck should look like. Come on now. What is going on here? I mean, it is as if it's a sinkhole. Now, I used to say that Cyclops Jan Moore under her chin looked like she had a small child strapped to it. All the extra fat she had up on her chin, it looked like a small child, maybe a dwarf. But Kate can put a small child in that little pocket where she has right there under her neck. I'm telling you, she doesn't need a purse. She can put her keys and her compact right there under her neck, right down in her décolleté. Y'all, I got to stop. I have gone over the deep end with this messiness, but yeah, it's looking pretty bad. Yeah, don't worry about Megan Sussex. Worry about your princess, because she got something going on when you can absolutely go out for the evening and put everything you need in the hollow of your neck, your lipstick, your compact, your keys, and maybe even a little perfume, and stick it and tuck it right down in the hollow of your neck. Now, when your princess can do that, you don't need to be worrying about hours. Yeah, you need to try to get her some help, because she's absolutely sending out a SOS because she's in distress. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. I'm going to change gears a little bit because they have dug Philip up. Yes, they dug Prince Philip up, and they are trying to use him against Harry and Meghan. Now, y'all know that this is nothing new. They used to dig the Queen up, but the Queen has gotten a little sully here lately when it comes to, you know, being a useful tool to all of those flying monkeys over there in that family, because of course that whole thing with Andrew. So now they are digging up Philip, using him. And this came from Sky News, but I also saw an article like this in People Magazine. Same old BS. But I didn't choose to use People Magazine. I chose to use Sky News Australia. And this post says Prince Philip's brutal 9 words warning to his grandson, Prince Harry, before he married former actress Meghan Markle can now be revealed. This is such BS. This is such BS. Harry and Meghan has been married, what, 7 years now? And you are still salty. This right here is nothing but them being salty. And at the end of the day, who really cares about what Philip said? Yes, a man who spent his last days banging Penny Netchbull. Now we supposed to put some kind of weight on what he thought about Meghan? I mean, and he is a known racist. He has said so many racist statements. And he did nothing but cheat on his wife, the Queen. So, miss me, miss me. But this particular squatty came up under that and said this. Well, it was well documented that he was a racist. So he may have struggled with a woman of color on his table. He's used to them being in the kitchen. That's where all the royalist struggles are. They can't even comprehend that their perfect bloodline has been diluted. That's the only major crime Harry and Meghan ever committed, and that's why their heavily sponsored campaign for their elimination. When you see people calling for titles, it's not the titles that they want. They want Meghan and her children not to be a part of that family. That's all. It's always been the race. Nothing else. It all started when it was revealed that they were dating, and it never stopped. Where is the lie? Where is it? And I remember just as clear as it was yesterday when Tina and Michelle was talking about how they felt that they were trying to kill Archie before he was born. You remember when Megan went to New York for that baby shower? And I remember listening to the Sussex Squad podcast, and Tina and Michelle was saying, they're trying to kill that baby. They're trying to kill that baby, chasing Megan all over New York City and winding up all of the crazies, telling them that she wasn't pregnant, that it was a moon bump. And I saw posts talking about we need to prove that she's not pregnant. And it is sad. I don't know if I can't remember if I saw the post or not, so I'm going to say allegedly just to be safe. But allegedly, old pie-faced Taz was saying that somebody needed to prove that Megan wasn't pregnant, that she actually had a moon bump. And I must say, I had never even heard of a moon bump until they made that nonsense up out of their fevered minds. But I digress. Yes, they were talking like that, like they wanted somebody to harm Megan to prove that she was not pregnant. Y'all remember that? Listen, OG Squatties, remind me in the comments who it was. Was it Pie-Face Taz or was it one of those other ones, Megan the Mole? Which one was it? But they were out here doing that, trying to incite someone, crazier than them to do something like that, to try to prove that Megan was lying about being pregnant. Yes, they did that. And that right there was just so dangerous. I mean, to stir up all of the fevered minded old trolls and derangers to try to get one. Y'all remember when Harry said it only takes one? I really feel like this lie saying that Megan had a moon bump instead of being pregnant was the lie that they were going to use to keep their bloodline pure and to get rid of Archie. Let me tell you, shivers went up and down my spine when Tina and Michelle said that. But everything that they have said back then, you can go back and watch the videos. Everything they said has come to pass. Those people are just who they say that they were. And as for Philip, nobody cares because he is just as bad. And so was the Queen, because they did nothing to really help Harry and Meghan. Now, the Queen had gotten so old and sick at the end, but she was in her right mind when all this SHIT first jumped off, and she chose not to do anything about it. So, as for trying to use Philip in order to try to make Harry and Meghan look bad, are you for real? Do you not know who Prince Philip really was? If you don't know, we do. So, all I can say to that is good luck. And this squatty, they made a post under that People article that was talking about this same nonsense and said this: clearly it's a slow news day. Who cares? He's dead and they are 100% still married. Move on. I had to add that one in there because that right there is just chef's kiss. Yes, he's dead. They're 100% still together. Move on. Move on already. But it's as if they don't have the ability to do so. I mean, why can't you just move on after 9 years now? They've been together 9 years, almost 10 years, and y'all still are in this same old bag. I can't. All right, y'all, I'm going to change gears a little bit because one of my favorite actors got his start on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yes, it is Chadwick Boseman. I knew he was going to get it, and now he has it. And it was such a beautiful ceremony. His wife brought his picture and his shoes. Yes, T'Challa. T'Challa is forever on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I am just thrilled about it. It is bittersweet because, like I said, he was such a good man. He was not just a good actor, he was a good man. And it's always hard when a good man goes early, when he is absolutely taken away so young. I mean, and he was just everything in the Black Panther. So, yes, I just wanted to share that. And I hope he is resting in peace. I hope he is resting in paradise because he was such a kind and loving man who did nothing but good things up to the end. He was talking about helping people in his last video. I mean, and he would go to hospitals where kids was suffering with cancer and nobody knew he was suffering with cancer himself. Rest in power, King T'Challa. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.